My story is long. So I'm originally from Brazil. I moved here when I was 21 and decided that I wanted to go back to school. So since I was an international student, I decided to start with community college, went to Durham Tech, finished so I did my associate degrees, associating arts there from 2012 to 14. Then I applied to UNC Chapel Hill in their global studies program, got in, and honestly, just because all of my friends were doing that, it wasn't like something that I even knew what I wanted to do with. So after some thought, I decided to defer my admission and take a year just to like figure it out and work. So I got a job with Citrix downtown Raleigh and did sales for them for 7-8 months, and it was definitely not for me. And that's when I decided to start looking around and met with Dr. Cook, and she just gave me some advice, explained to me the program, and I fell in love with it. I knew at that point, talking to her, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Since my associate was in arts, I needed some science classes. I went back to Wake Tech, took the basic classes, and then applied to state. Started here in 16 and graduated in 18. But it was like a long road, just working and like trying to figure it out, what I wanted to do. Honestly, I wish I was involved in more or any. I worked full-time throughout my whole school time at Durham Tech, Wake Tech, and NC State. So it wasn't really, there was no really time for me to do much. If I was not in class or studying at the library, I was working. I worked 30 to 40 hours my 4.5 years here studying as a nanny and a yoga instructor, which I still do. Yeah. So at that time, I couldn't really do any extra activity at NC State, but one of the classes that I really enjoyed taking that definitely helped me get my first job out of school was teaching the Cookie Matters curriculum to Boys and Girls Club with kids. And I did that as a part of a class, a nutrition class, and for a semester, and that was really great. That's something that like helped me through my career and helped me to get involved with the community. So I am a research assistant for Global Food Research Program at UNC. I work for a nutrition professor called Barry Popkin. This program is obesity prevention and analyzing food beverages in different countries according to regulation of these countries. So as a research assistant, after data is collected in these different countries, which currently I'm working with Chile, we will match the products with the NFB, just knowing all the nutrients to see if they are corrected in the system. And then after reviewing these products, I regulate them according to some thresholds depending on the regulation of the country. So each country has their own regulation for sweet sugar beverages and junk food. So I will look at the NFB, I will look at the Kantar data, which is another resource we use that collects data of food that has been consumed in the country. And then from there, this data is used by faculty to publish papers and support just policymakers. My current day, it's basically, as I said, I'm working with Chile project now. We have 9 different countries. So in Chile, my typical day will be contacting our collaborator there, which is the University of Chile or INTA, and just going over some products that are troublesome, reviewing at the grocery store those products. And I will basically open our server and compare the data bought from Kantar with the data collected from Chile, just review those NFPs and then regulate those products. I have weekly meetings with the whole team to go over any questions we have about regulation. We also have monthly meetings with students, PhD students that are using the data to write their dissertation. So yeah, a typical day can go from meeting with faculty, meeting with research team, and talking to Chile team to go over our data set. I use nutrition for everything, really. In my field, since I'm dealing with a lot of products and I am trying to build data to support policymakers, changing regulation and laws in countries, I want to make sure that I'm not assuming anything, and that's something really important that we learn in nutrition and research. So going over each product that is being collected in the country, I calculate calories if it seems like the calorie of the product is very low. I categorize products in FCTs, so I need to have that nutrition knowledge to know the food group of that product, and not just the basic food groups, but the entire food groups, which there are so many, classifying according to sugar, no sugar. So knowing all the sugar names, which ingredient list is not going to be just sugar, right? We know that there are a lot of different variations for ingredients. So that's all my nutrition background, really. That helps me do my job in a very comfortable way and confident that I'm doing like what I'm supposed to. What I learned about myself after my graduation, well, I had no idea that my destination, right? I started school and I knew I had to start somewhere. I just learned that I was capable of doing way more than I thought I could, especially having English as my second language and starting or restarting school when I was almost 30 years old. So I just learned that you don't have to know exactly your whole path, you just have to start at the beginning. And yeah, I'm more confident for sure. A big accomplishment to me is definitely moving here on my own by myself. My whole family is in Brazil, and being able to get my degree in the US. So I worked a lot. As I said, I had no time to do extra activities, which I don't regret. That's the chance I had to finish my degree. But I'm really proud of my accomplishment of finishing school here and landing a job that is a great opportunity. I work with a lot of very smart faculty that I learn a lot from the people I work with every day. So my graduation for sure, and the current job that I am in, it's a big accomplishment. My journey had a lot of twists and turns and stop and going back to school, and honestly I think I did the best I could. If I had the chance of not working so much, I would definitely want to just be involved more in the campus activities like nutrition club, RA opportunities, CA. There are a lot of research opportunities during your time here as a student, and TA opportunities, and I think that's a big thing to put on your curriculum once you graduate, that you have done those things. But unfortunately, I couldn't. But yeah, that's one thing that I could, or I would have changed or done differently if I had the opportunity. My advice for current students is to not be afraid of taking a break. I see a lot of students that graduated with me. Last semester they were talking about what they wanted to do next and apply for schools and being really in a rush. And of course I had goals for myself, and that's why I took 16 credits every semester in summer classes, because I wanted to graduate by 30. But everything will work out. If you take a year break, if you get admitted in your grad program, but you want to just take a year, just do it. You know, everybody's very young and there's plenty time to just figure it out what you want to do. A lot of people don't know what they want to do, and then they end up going to grad school just to go. But I didn't go to grad school. I work with, all my coworkers have a master's degree. I would also advise them to like work on different languages. That's very important for a lot of jobs out there now, especially in nutrition. So I got my job. I don't speak fluent Spanish. Like my first language is Portuguese, but just knowing like the basic Spanish really helped me. And yeah, just like take your time, and if you go to a path you don't like and it's not for you, don't be afraid of changing it. And also use campus resources. I did only use on my last semester when I really wanted to like improve my resume, and I wish I had used more. It's very like, they're great and they were a great help when I was looking for my first job.